Hey fellow foodies, it's Faye from facefood.com. Today I'm going to show you an easy recipe of producing a chocolate chiffon sponge cake. This is going to give you a nice, light and fluffy and of course spongy cake that is not as sweet as the butter-based cakes. So let me show you how I do it. So start out with some very hot water in a bowl. And then you're going to sift in the cocoa powder. Use a good high quality cocoa powder because this is the only chocolate in the recipe. So if it's bad quality, you will taste it in the cake. Okay, the hot water here is just to kind of activate the cocoa. So we're gonna get it started that way. Whisk that in. Then you're gonna pour in the egg yolks and the oil, and we're going to whisk those in as well until it's kind of just smooth. Then I just kind of clean the sides with my rubber spat. Here I'm just going to add in my vanilla. I'm using vanilla bean paste, but you can of course just use vanilla extract. Okay, whisk that in as well. And yes, I am using a scale for this recipe because this is a recipe that needs a scale. Okay, so again, not expensive. I bought this for 20 bucks from Costco. You can buy them online probably for cheaper. So just invest in the scale if you really want to be a good baker. If you want to bake in the future and really want to grow into this profession in this industry, you want to learn more about it. Even if you just want to do it at home, invest in a scale. It's not that bad. Alright, so I'm just sifting my dry ingredients and my sugar. I know sugar is technically a wet ingredient, but we're just going to sift the sugar in as well. And once we have that all sifted together, we're going to combine the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients. And we are going to just kind of fold that in until it's a nice smooth batter. Once we're done folding in the majority of it, we're going to move to a whisk to kind of just ensure that it's a nice smooth batter. Okay, so now I'm just scaling out the sugar and we're going to get started on our meringue. We combined our egg whites and our cream of tartar. You can of course use some lemon juice in place of cream of tartar, perfectly fine. I've done it before a million times. It works just fine. So once you get the tracks in the meringue, that's when you want to gradually add in the sugar. Okay, we start off on a medium speed, and then once we add in the sugar, we're going to bump it up to a nice high speed. And it doesn't take very long until we get nice, stiff, firm, but moist peaks. That's what we're looking for. And you can see when it kind of clumps up around the whip, that gives you a good indication that it's a nice stiff peak. If you want to test it even further, just take some and pull it up, and if it sticks to your whip, you know you've done it well. You can see it has a nice shine to it. I'm trying to kind of cover up the sun, but you can see it sort of has a shine to it. That's what you're looking for. So now we're just going to dump in our meringue all at once. I know it's going to seem intimidating, but trust me, it's not as bad as you think, okay? So dump in all the meringue all at once. We're going to fold it in all at once. And you want to also be mindful of not deflating the meringue. I know this sounds tough to do, but you just kind of want to go gently. Take your time during this step. Make sure you're doing this recipe when you're not in a huge hurry, okay? This is a special occasion kind of cake, so when you have some time to put aside to do this recipe, that's when you want to make it. And you want to just basically fold it in until the meringue is all the way or pretty much all the way kind of absorbed in, and you want to make sure that the color is uniform in color, like how it is here. You can see it's all nice light brown. That's what we're looking for. Now, instead of cooking spray, what you want to do is take a nice damp towel and kind of just wipe the cake pans that you're going to be using. You can see the water is evident in there. You can still see it. That's what you want. You want it that damp, okay? Wipe it with a very, very damp towel. That's going to ensure that it doesn't stick to the sides. And then you want to give it a nice spin like this. This is just going to get rid of the air in the cake. Instead of tapping it, which is going to be a little harsh, we're just going to spin it. So after 350, around 20 minutes, the toothpick came out with some moist crumbs. This is what it looks like. Now here's an important step. We're going to go ahead and turn it upside down immediately. Why do we do this? Because with a chiffon sponge cake, if you don't do this right out of the oven, it's going to actually shrink up. I did this in class once. I didn't know I had to turn them upside down, and it just fell, and it was a bad day. So make sure you turn it upside down. So you don't have to do this, but this is how I decided to dress mine up. I made some whipped cream. I put some strawberry jam in it, and I just kind of mixed them together. And I'm going to just unmold the cakes now. What you want to do is just take a nice sharp paring knife, kind of run it around the edges, tap it hard against the table, and it should come out pretty easily. You can see nice and spongy. That's what we're looking for. So now I'm going to take some of that whipped cream that I made up. And I'm just going to spread that. Putting some fresh strawberries and raspberries. Again, you can kind of just serve this any way you want. Okay, then we're going to put the top layer, and then I put more of the whipped cream on top. The thing is, if you decide to do something similar to this with some whipped cream or something else, make sure whatever you're accompanying with is sweet, because the cake itself is not that sweet. So kind of sweeten up the cream, make a compote, make something sweet. It goes really well with a cake like this. So I didn't want to go too fancy with the top. I just kind of, did this kind of design. And that's pretty much it. This is the chiffon sponge cake. Very easy, very delicious. And if you want to get the full recipe, go to faysfood.com. Newly revamped. Go check it out. Subscribe to the channel for more great videos on the way. Like this video, comment below, and share with some friends. And until next time, guys, you have a great day.